When The Big Bang Theory first aired in 2007, it seemed like just another sitcom, nerdy guys, hot neighbor, laugh track. But over 12 seasons, it became something far more enduring. It wasn't just the science jokes or comic book references that won over audiences, it was the hidden emotional depths and unique traits of its characters. Each one had subtle layers, sometimes unseen or unspoken, that turned a quirky ensemble into a cultural phenomenon. Here are the hidden traits that made each main character unforgettable. Sheldon Cooper. Obsessive honesty is a shield. Everyone knows Sheldon is the egotistical genius with zero social tact. His catchphrases like, "Bazinga," and "love for trains" are unforgettable. But beneath his rigid routines and encyclopedic mind lies something deeper. His obsessive honesty is a defense mechanism. Sheldon's inability to lie or even tolerate sarcasm isn't just a quirk, it's how he maintains control in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. Raised in a house where he was misunderstood and bullied for being different, Sheldon learned to anchor himself to absolutes, physics, facts, and routines. What viewers came to love wasn't just his brilliance, it was his vulnerability masquerading as arrogance. His character arc, from isolated genius to loving husband, made his hidden empathy a beautiful surprise. Leonard Hofstadter, the optimist wearing armor. Leonard is the heart of the show, kind, socially aware, and endlessly patient. But behind his thick-rimmed glasses lies a complex man haunted by childhood emotional neglect. With a cold, hypercritical mother and a dismissive upbringing, Leonard grew up craving approval. But instead of becoming bitter, he became quietly resilient. Leonard's hidden strength is his emotional optimism, the belief that people can change, that relationships are worth the effort, and that love, even when painful, is better than loneliness. He constantly extends compassion, whether it's to his eccentric roommates or his emotionally unavailable mother. That optimism, camouflaged in self-deprecating jokes, is what makes Leonard quietly unforgettable. Penny, the unseen intellectual. At first glance, Penny was the stereotypical, dumb blonde, dropped into a sea of physicists. But over time, audiences realized that Penny's emotional intelligence was her superpower. While she didn't know string theory, she understood people in ways the others couldn't begin to comprehend. Her real hidden trait, adaptive intelligence. Penny was a survivor. She navigated a dead-end job, struggled to follow her dreams, and dealt with cultural and intellectual gaps between her and the group. But she adapted, listened, and grew. While others debated quantum mechanics, she subtly became the social glue that held them together. She was smart where it counted most, in empathy, intuition, and loyalty. Howard Wolowitz, insecurity dressed as confidence. Howard's tight pants and creepy pickup lines were a running joke early on, but they masked something much more poignant, deep-rooted insecurity. The loss of his father and being raised by an overbearing mother left Howard desperate for validation, especially from women. What made Howard unforgettable wasn't his sleazy charm, but his quiet evolution. His hidden trait was unshakable devotion, revealed slowly over time. When he met Bernadette, he transformed, not into someone perfect, but into someone trying. He shed his insecurities not by pretending they didn't exist, but by embracing them and choosing to grow. Watching him become a husband, astronaut, and father, while never fully shaking his nerdy awkwardness, was one of the most satisfying journeys of the show. Raj Koothrappali, the poet behind the silence. Raj started as the shy guy who literally couldn't talk to women unless drunk. But that silence wasn't just social anxiety, it was the voice of sensitivity in a world that rewarded bravado. His hidden trait, romantic idealism. Raj was the dreamer. He believed in fairy tales, stargazing, true love, and poetry. He was the most emotionally open of the group, despite his early mutism. He didn't hide behind sarcasm or science. Raj felt things deeply, even when it hurt. And while he often played the punchline, he was also the one most in touch with beauty, whether it was in the cosmos or the complexities of human emotion. It made him awkward, yes. But it also made him achingly real. Bernadette Rostenkowski, sweetness with a steel spine. Tiny, sweet-voiced Bernadette could have been a caricature. But she emerged as one of the show's most surprising characters. Her hidden trait: fierce ambition cloaked in charm. She was a microbiologist with a terrifying presence when angry, a perfectionist who juggled a high-powered career with family life. She broke the stereotype that femininity and power can't coexist. Her dynamic with Howard showcased how gender roles could be reversed and still function with mutual respect. Bernadette was both nurturing and intimidating, a paradox that made her thrilling to watch. Amy Farrah Fowler, yearning beneath the logic. Amy's introduction as a female Sheldon felt like a gimmick, but she quickly proved to be much more. Her hidden trait was perhaps the most touching of all: a deep, aching desire for connection. Raised without many friends, Amy initially viewed relationships like scientific experiments. But beneath the logic was someone starved for affection, inclusion, and love. Watching her evolve, from robotic to radiant, was one of the most touching arcs in the series. Her friendship with Penny and Bernadette unlocked her warmth. Her love for Sheldon forced him and us to understand that emotional intimacy was as profound as intellectual connection. Amy was a mirror of transformation, of what it means to blossom when finally seen. The collective chemistry, the eighth character. While each individual had their quirks and hidden layers, the true magic of The Big Bang Theory was in the ensemble chemistry. The group dynamic became its own character. The dinners in Apartment 4A, the group trips to Comic-Con, the paintball games, the awkward holidays. They balanced each other's weaknesses, poked fun at each other's obsessions, and stood by each other during heartbreaks, weddings, and scientific meltdowns. The hidden trait here: unlikely kinship. They were all misfits, in one way or another, but together, they became a family. Final thought. The brilliance of The Big Bang Theory didn't just lie in its nerdy humor or pop culture references. It was in how it peeled back the layers of people we thought we understood and revealed something more: loneliness behind sarcasm, softness behind ego, strength behind silence. We laughed because the characters were odd. We stayed because they were real. And that's what made them unforgettable. Would you like a condensed version of this or a version tailored for social media?